Hello and welcome to my channel. It's Krista here from A Soul's Journey. In this video, we're going to discuss practice and healing. A lot of people do something called meditating. Meditation can mean 300 things, but we have to understand what the process really is, or else we won't have the courage to truly do it, to make our way back to that place where we don't want to be. Everyone is practicing. It doesn't have to look like sitting. There's no difference between sitting and scrubbing the kitchen floor. Because if you really scrub the kitchen floor, that's being in the moment with what's there. So basically, we're just talking about finding some way of bringing yourself back into the present moment. Sometimes we don't sit because there's so much to feel, and we think if we don't sit, we won't have to feel. But it's the practice of returning to sit, whether we feel like it or not, that builds the container so that we can hold all that we are experiencing. Even if you don't want to sit, if you don't want to meditate, walk to the place where you're going to sit or meditate and just stand there. Observe all the thoughts that are running through your head and let yourself feel all the body sensations in your body. And at that time, if you don't want to sit and meditate, then don't do it that day. But at least continue to approach the sitting spot day after day. Don't avoid the place, and eventually, maybe, you'll just get tired and sit down. We cannot separate our body and ourself. There is no difference between the two. The way the body is, so is ourself. And when you sit and meditate and feel the body as part of your practice, you're developing the capacity of sitting with major trauma. And how we can sit and meditate can either help or hinder our healing. When we sit, everything comes up. Sooner or later, if you sit, there's nothing about your life that doesn't show up somewhere. I don't think we ever bypass anything. I'm talking about these long periods in practice when, in a way, you're just practicing. You know nothing's happening, but you're growing stronger. And at first, you're like a swimmer who starts swimming one length of the pool and you're completely exhausted. But an accomplished swimmer just goes back and forth because your muscles grow. And when you sit and you meditate like this every day, when life is hitting you hard, you have the strength, you know what to do. Much of our practice is simply being the awareness, being the observer, so that we can respond appropriately. Because when we are reacting, reaction comes from the conditioned self, the ego mind, which is not your true self. But when you're responding, a response comes from the state of presence, which is soul.